Would you give our listeners a deep dive on what you did in public safety, how you reimagined it, what decisions you made about how it was going to be different in Fort Worth?
So I think my first bedrock philosophy about public safety is twofold. Number one is you listen to the professionals that are doing the job and understand the resources that they need. And furthermore, you understand that we should all be pro police and pro community at the exact same time. I was elected just after the summer of 2020, amazing civil unrest across the country, and the lowest morale we'd seen in the United States for police officers. And it's still something big cities are grappling with, recruitment and retention of officers. I said this over and over again when I was running, and I think it's a big reason why I won, is that we have far too long asked our police officers, at least in the last 2 decades, to be all things to all people all of the time. And that's unacceptable. There are so many things that contribute to crime in our cities that have nothing to do with policing. They have to do with the degradation of neighborhoods, an education system that's broken, a lack of investment. And we have to come alongside our public safety departments to help serve them differently. My first mention about trusting the professionals, it's no different. If you go to the doctor and your doctor says you need surgery on your heart, you don't immediately start second guessing. You believe in the professionals. And so in Fort Worth, we first of all have an amazing police chief in Neil Noakes, a career Fort Worth police officer that became our chief just before I became mayor, a friend of mine for years. He has made sure to appoint an excellent command staff that is prepared for the jobs that they're in. And they are focused on the community and the wellness of Fort Worth residents and their department. And this is incredibly hard work. But I'm proud to tell you, just this last budget cycle, I mentioned my council that are all diverse perspectives. Some of them have been the toughest critics of police at some times or another. But we unanimously voted for a historic number of officers added to this last cycle, 65 officers, along with the resources that they deserved. We're also doing really important work. Just yesterday, we had an announcement event with a local nonprofit that really is more nationally focused now called American Warrior Association, focused on the wellness and resiliency of first responders, military, including Fort Worth PD and fire. Because I mentioned the all things to all people problem for police is if they're not well mentally, they cannot be expected to go out in the community and be their best selves. And think about the trauma and the things that our officers see day in and day out, and they're just expected to shove it down. That's terribly unhealthy. Mm-hmm. And the country's mental health resources and safety net system, we all know, is broken. But as mayor and as city leaders, we have a responsibility to create the safety net that our first responders deserve. So that's important. And the last thing that's hard for different communities, Fort Worth is a proud back the blue city. But we've been able to stay that way because our department has come alongside communities that have had major issues with police. They've admitted when they've been wrong. They've changed the way they police in community. They've used technology in a way that's less intrusive. All those things are helping. And we also have an office of the police monitor's office that does an excellent job that comes alongside our police department to also create some neutrality. And I think all those things are the recipe. We've still got ways to go, but we hope to be fully staffed with Fort Worth PD by 2026. And I don't think many large cities have that goal that's achievable right now because retention and recruitment is such a problem.